Hello everybody and welcome to Organian's Puzzle Box. I wanted to take this opportunity to make a new video about the Cloud Forge and the Atmos Forge, and basically to tell you that the Cloud Forge complete package is now available for Unreal Engine 5.8, and it actually performs better in this engine than in any other engine because VDBs have been lightly touched on and improved. I want to say straight out of the get-go, the Atmos Forge does actually work as a planetary cloud system, as you can see here, and the Cloud Forge complete package does come with the Atmos Forge and the procedural planet, so you can put systems like this together. It also has like a skybox, like a space box with nebulas and stars and things like that as well. But if you actually go and get the Cloud Forge complete package, you will have access to Atmos Forge and Cloud Forge, and you can always go into the Cloud Forge folder, go into the example maps, and you will have a bunch of maps in here to actually see the main blueprints. You can go into volume 1, for example, open this level, and you'll be greeted here with a bunch of VDBs, like for example, this one right here. Let me just try and center on it. So this VDB is fully controllable from the blueprint settings or any one of these here. You've got things like scattering color for the cloud. You've got sub-scattering control, which is going to decide how the shadows are going to look like. So right now we're not seeing any effect, but let's try and put that to sort of like a darker color, and you'll see in a bit what that does. We have the density multiplier that allows us to make these clouds more dense or less dense. We can also remap those values in order to allow you to create different shapes from these clouds, so they're not actually that static, they're very customizable. You can choose whatever sort of cloud you use in here. So for example, I could just drop this one, right? Or I could have none, I could have this, and for example, I've just put one in here that needs a bit more density, so I'm just gonna bump that up to like a 2 or something like that, right? And then what we have is a cloud self shadow. So this self shadow is going to be generated based on density and the directional light. So whatever the directional light is right now, which is up there, and it's sometimes it kind of bugs away on the direction, so you're gonna have to fiddle a little bit with it. But the actual self shadow itself, the color of that, is generated by the sub-scattering color here. So let's say we increase this, so or something like that, right? As we sort of change the direction from the self shadow, you'll notice that that color comes into play that we've just generated there. Another thing that you've got is a cloud movement option. So this allows us to be able to use a noise pattern in order to drive an animation through the cloud. Now, if this is slow enough, you'll be able to create quite some interesting effects through this, as you can see here. They can have, there's various different ways that you can do this, and if you slow it down enough, you can make a very nice animation of just going between the clouds, right? You're flying into the clouds or something like that, and they are changing shape as the camera moves or as time passes. So that can be very useful. But there's other systems at play that comes with the Cloud Forge to allow you to use these clouds in massive scenes. So what do I mean by this? Well, if we go over into the if we go into example maps and we go to general examples, we will have things in here like the cloud spawner. So we can double click this, right? And in here, you'll notice there's this, box, right? A very large box. And it does say, hit play to see clouds. Now, if you do that, if you click play, depending on if you have a third-person character or not, you'll be able to use one. And clouds will start to appear in the sky. You can see that they're slowly sort of fading in, and then they will move into the scene and then, move away from us, or, just continue on moving in through the scene as they generate based on some settings here on the right for the blueprint. So you can load multiple types of arrays of volumetric clouds. You can use indirect lighting, infinite trace, how many can spawn at any given time, what their scale is, what their speed is, and what direction they're going in, what their density multiplication is at, like how dense are they, what's their spawn rate, so how many spawn. So this is not in seconds, this is more like you're just gonna have to play with the setting to see, but basically this will mean that 0.5 means that every I would say every 2 to 3 seconds you'll get a cloud. If you put this to 1, you'll get a cloud every 5 to 6 seconds. but if you put this to 0.1, you'll get clouds in rapid succession, and then they do die off after about 17 seconds. Okay, they will be killed off, thus allowing new clouds to spawn and thus keeping the system a bit more performant. So I've just skipped here a little bit just to allow for some of these clouds to build up in the scene, and you can see them over there, right? There is no other clouds anywhere in the sky apart from these that are spawning in, and they are slowly moving in a direction. These are very large cloud bodies, and they're also very detailed. Obviously, we can fully art direct this in other different ways. So I could shift F1 so I can get my cursor, and you can see these are the clouds that are being spawned in and then being killed off. I could select the directional light in here, and then obviously we could look at playing around with the angle of the light, right? So something like that, for example. So if we leave this level and go into, I've got here an example level that I created where I'm using both systems. So in the background, you can see over there, that is the Atmos Forge, okay? So that's generating clouds that are using the normal volumetric cloud shader that comes with Unreal Engine, but it looks a lot more detailed. And then we have the spawner as well. So I'm just going to press play, okay? Our character is going to fall down to the ground, and we will start to see these clouds spawning in. Now, all of a sudden, this scene is a lot more detailed because we have our clouds that are VDB based and more high quality that are going to spawn into the sort of like foreground, let's call it. And they're going to be darker, but because they're also closer to the camera and the light activates differently onto them or affects them differently. But if we shift F1 and then we again go to the Atmos Forge, we have a bunch of controls. I just make sure that the real-time clouds is on so that we can edit this in play mode. And then I can go to the light pitch, right? So for example, I can bring that light all the way down. And as you can see, we do get like this nice sort of sunset or rise. And now we have stars showing up. So the Atmos Forge will generate stars as the light goes down. So stars are, can become visible in the night sky. But then we could go even further down. So now we're like at the point of, almost very dark, and we can see the VDB clouds in the sky, and we can also see the Milky Way. Now, if you don't like the fact that these clouds are a bit bluish and you can see them, you can always go into the Atmos Forge, select the sky light, and then the lower hemisphere solid color, you could change that to a black, okay? Press OK. And now the clouds will become as dark as everything else in the world. We can also turn the directional light in the other... Sorry. We can also turn the directional light into the other side. So we can just pump it up again. And then we can move it all the way to this other side. And it will do the same thing, but now on the other level, other end. You can see the clouds there reacting to that light going down, and which is makes very beautiful sort of sunsets. And then we can go all the way down, right? And now again we have stars, and depending on your settings, the Milky Way can or may or may not show up. So it really depends on where. So I have a cutoff point to be 100 minus 170, and now the Milky Way will show up. But you can fine tune these, so you can see as I go up above 170, the Milky Way sort of disappears before the sunrise, which I think it's maybe a bit too soon, but this can be easily customized, and that's the nice thing about the Atmos Forge and Cloud Forge. There is a lot of modularity into them. Okay, so you can see performance is really good considering how many VDBs are currently in the scene. There's probably about 8 or 9 VDBs spawned that are just moving around, and they just give a lot more detail. This is a very obviously empty world right now, but there could be so much more that you can add. I'm really in love with the sunset part of it, by the way. One thing that we can do here when you look at this, if you look at source, things like I believe it's like the shadow angle or source angle. This is not exposed here now. It will be in a future update, but you can always click on the directional light and have a look at the source angle, and you can always sort of like look at increasing that. So the source angle could become something like a 5, and now you have a far softer sort of shadow and light. But what's cool about this is obviously it looks more real to how a sunset generally plays out. But the problem is that once you start raising the sort of like the skylight up, it just is too large. So in the future update, I will make it so that this actually does function correctly, and that sun disk will react to it being higher in the sky versus being lower in the sky, thus giving you these beautiful sunsets that you can see here as well. And to give you a very clear rundown of what you're going to do, right, you can always go into any of the example levels and copy Control C and then Control V in your level, whatever you may want, that's already predefined. But setting up an empty level is very easy. Like, we just have a plane here, but it's very easy. If you just want to have the Atmos Forge and a cloud from the Cloud Forge, you just go over into your Atmos Forge folder, blueprint, and just drop in the BP Atmos Forge. And there you go. That's now live. You've got clouds, you've got the Atmos Forge on, okay? Then if you want to add in a blueprint VDB cloud from the Cloud Forge, you go to blueprint, okay? And then you've got BP Cloud Forge VDB, drop that in. I'm just gonna go onto it here. I'm probably gonna just make it larger, maybe like 100 so I can see it, right? There's no array yet loaded, so we can always just load the cloud, and there you go. That's the cloud there already loaded. I can then obviously start doing the settings on it, like how dense it is, what's its intensity, what its color is, how much self shadow does it receive, and so on and so forth. I mean, that's just how easy you can literally just start having your clouds in the scene. So that's pretty much what you can expect to find in the current version of 1.4.3 of the CloudForge Complete package. There is an update on the horizon for both of these systems, for the Atmos Forge and the CloudForge. They will have weather integrated into them, thunderstorms, blizzards, snow. They will also be linked with the World Forge and the Surface Forge to allow for actual like a proper system for weathering, for atmosphere, and for environmental changes. So I'm planning on releasing that this summer. So if you're interested, just stay tuned for that, or wishlist the product or whatever. If you have any questions, just join the Discord server. I will be happy to assist you in any way I can. And yeah, as I said, there's been thousands of people that have had these projects, and a lot of them have used them in multiple different scenarios. They've used them in cinematics, they've used them in music videos, they've used them in video games, and in their own short movies. So hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.